Hi, Jim. All right, we're going to get started on your 45-minute job here. So I read through your questions, which I really liked. I'm going to just relax and we will see what Spirit has to share, okay? So I see you sitting on a chair. I see your hands on the chair arms, and then your legs are just, feet are pressed against the ground, but your legs are sort of out and then separated some. It's an odd mirror that goes down the center of you, and then you're sort of it's an odd mirror. It's sort of like the weird way that you see a beautiful mountain range and then there's water, just pure flat water, no wind, and then you see the mountain range on two sides. So it's sort of, here's your right side, here's your left side, and it's actually just a mirror of each other. Right side is a mirror of left side. Left side is a mirror of right side. That's what they're showing me. This is complicated. This is getting really overwhelming. So left and right sides are sort of turning into blending together, creating a spiral of movement, and then a tunnel, an actual dark tunnel, and it goes through your heart portal even. And as we go through it, we actually veer off some to the left side. Let me see. I also see a version of you with a tunnel attached to the back of your head. You're sort of sitting on a chair with a very long black tunnel connected to your head and an insanely massive dark orb. Kind of makes me think of like X-Men with the professor, how he has that huge room that he just goes into and he sort of puts the helmet on and then he just sees and knows everything from a really extraordinary level of understanding beyond what we could possibly imagine. They want to use this imagery to help you understand a fourth dimensional reality. But not that, not only that, but not exactly that, because they want you to understand yourself as well. Because some part of yourself has deemed that you are living in a third dimensional reality when they say it is very easy for you to move in between realms. It would be very easy for you to move into fourth dimension, fifth dimension very easily. But it's complicated only now because you can't fathom you're something about your sensory ability has forgotten about the transcending, the easily transcendable way you can move between densities. And so now you feel sort of trapped or stuck in a 3D reality when you're actually not at all stuck. And so that's what they're saying right now. I'm going to go back to the image of you. Literally, there's a very long black tube and it is connected to something way up there. And then a huge, massive, rounded space, and it's all dark in here. And you're in a chair, and everything is levitating and suspended. So, this is interesting. So, this big rounded room turns into an eye, and the eye, you are inside of the eye, and you are looking through the tunnel of the pupil of the eye. The retina. You are in the retina. This has got a very strong energy associated with it. Has a very powerful energy associated with it, related to the throat chakra region, and then the head, also the back of the head region. You really do want to be lifted up beyond this reality. You wholeheartedly do. And you wholeheartedly tell the universe, I am ready to move beyond this reality. Wholeheartedly. You are patiently waiting suspended, yet connected as well, ready to see beyond. The room is starting to inspire light, that the lights are turning on in the room, is what it looks like. It's not pitch black, it's actually starting to illuminate on the inside of the eye. You are at peace in this suspended state. You are at peace with all that you see. You are at peace and acceptance of this space. The eye, we are looking directly at the eye now. I've been looking at you at a side angle. And now the eye, I'm looking straight ahead, dead ahead. And so I see literally, it's like an eye. And then the eye, the colored part of the eye has several circular shapes. And they're sort of spinning in opposing directions, like a really significant, like a impressive lock or something. And then a black hole in the center of the eye. You seem to understand exactly what this means. You are unlocking the wisdom. The lock is very impressive. And it's not a physical lock, it's a spiritual lock. It's very complicated to our human mind. No thief would ever be able to unlock this. Only the maker of the lock would be able to unlock this because it is of the maker's vibration. The maker then is you. You are unlocking your own lock that you have put on your own eyes. In order to perceive at a higher level, we must unlock your sight. There's removal of energy block. There's a sort of a round portal just below the belly button, and it's pulling out a very long white, it looks like a white baseball bat. There's energy work here to do. It comes from behind you and in front of you. There's a spinny thing behind you right now. There's spinny also in your head. You're wanting to release so much pent-up energy in your sexual body. You are totally welcoming higher energies of love to purify your sexual identity. I mean, it's really beautiful because not only are you sharing genuine, honest energy, which I love what that feels like and sounds like, but you're also welcoming love to heal your body, and that is really going to take you very far. There's so many loves that we all have in this universe, but if we don't all open ourselves up to their love, then we'll never get further. So it's important that you're doing this. You are welcoming love from beyond this world. And beyond this dimension even. And love is listening. And love is there. You may not have all the ability to see or understand, but something in your heart is starting to open up, and you're starting to listen and hear and understand things more clearly. Because of the way that you're feeling about yourself and the world you live in and what you want to experience in this life transcends the third dimension, transcends the human experience, because you are moving into a spiritual understanding and even beyond this dimension into alien dimensions and such. I mean, you're moving through dimensions already without even realizing you're doing it. They're saying that when you choose to basically be sort of like a robotic human, not really choosing to understand yourself. You know, you live the daily grind and you don't try to think beyond the daily grind. That is the third dimension. But you, on the other hand, are already transcending the third dimension because you are choosing to learn about yourself. You are choosing to transcend into spiritual realities, alien realities, etc. You already are moving up in dimension because the higher you go in dimension, the more expanded you are. So you are already expanding yourself in a higher vibrational dimension. You still experience being human, though, and you're wanting to move out of the human third-dimensional reality into a new human four-dimensional reality, is really what you're telling me. There are a lot of players in that game, they say. Because your soul is choosing to participate in a group learning, a group think across the planet, you are participating in the assisting all human bodies to transcend into a higher dimension together. So until all human beings choose to wake up, you will continue to traverse the dimensions in your within your body, within the heart portal of the third eye, etc. Until the world wakes up, that now you start to live in the higher dimensional realities. But because you're participating in this, we can't just swoop down and get you in our spaceship and then move you to the fourth dimensional version. That your soul actually opted and signed up to be a worker bee here in this third dimensional reality with humanity. And so you're choosing to actually help human beings on a massive scale just by being you, by exploring yourself, by opening up to higher dimensions of wisdom, and then expressing that so others can start to do that. They show me what are lots of heads, lots of minds, lots of human beings. And the more of us start to align with you and I's type of exploration, the more that becomes the majority. Now, when the majority chooses to start to go in self-discovery mode and learn about higher spiritual modalities, etc., now together we all transcend. We actually choose to create a fourth dimensional reality. We actually choose to create it. And then in the fourth dimensional reality, human beings are working together. In the fourth dimensional reality, human beings are thinking and working together, plotting out schemes, not on how to make more money and how to sell a business better, but actually how to come up with ideas in order to support the benefit of the earth and the benefit of everybody. And so how do we transcend us imprisoning each other, and we're all in it for ourselves? How do we transcend that sort of third dimensional thinking? How do we transcend that into being a planet of human beings who are actually working together to support each other and the planet? Because in that reality, we actually transcend third dimension and move into fourth dimension very easily because we're expanding in love. And fourth dimension is expanded in love beyond the third dimension. That's what they're saying. They say, do you understand now about transcending dimensions? You're transcending dimensions internally right now through choosing to get to know yourself and the spirit realm and alien beings. You are already transcending dimensions within yourself. But once the group learning starts choosing to participate in fourth dimensional gift giving and love sharing and helpfulness, then that will be how you get into the fourth dimension. That's what they say. There is a grief or a sadness you feel you store in solar plexus and just beneath the belly button. And it has to do with love and genuine love that you have felt in other lifetimes, that you feel a lack with that love in this lifetime. And that creates a grief within you. They do not call it a grief, they call it a learning. Because until you can choose to be in acceptance of all things within your life, you will always remain in a state of learning. But once you can let go of the feeling of grief or sadness with the way life has been, now you are transcending third dimension, and now you are moving into fourth dimension, fifth dimension, higher dimensions. Because you are choosing to say, I will no longer learn through pain and suffering, but I will learn through acceptance, gratitude, and I will not resist the teachings of my life, my higher self, and my spirit guides, etc. They're asking you, do you want to call your pain and suffering grief, sadness, or do you want to call it a learning that you have now chosen to learn your lesson? You will not choose to submit to grief or sadness. You will choose to stand up and acknowledge that you are a master of yourself You're a master of this world, and you are in joy of the learning that has been bestowed upon your soul in this lifetime, based on the people in your life, the way that you look, the way that your body has aged, etc. All of this stuff is a smush pile of learning opportunities that you can either submit to grief and upset and frustration, stress, etc., or you can move beyond it and actually feel healed and feel like, you know what, I am who I am. I am beautiful and I am proud and I am thankful and grateful for all the things that my life has shared with me. And I have learned a great deal in this life, and now I bow before the universe in gratitude for all of these gifts that have challenged me to let go of the learning in order to transcend into being a state of the art, loving, self-loving, and human-loving man. There's more energy work I am doing on the back side of you. I'm removing old structures. It literally looks like a crazy Rubik's Cube, but there's no, there's just poles and then empty spaces. And I'm just pulling that out of your backside. It's a structure. What kind of structure looks like this? I'm pulling an old structure out of your backside. It's got to do something to do with the stress of life because it's weighed heavily on the shoulders. But it also comes from behind the heart as well. Because it has caused the grief and the sort of sadness emotions. You're showing me you're opening up a new lock on your heart. And you are ready to let go of this energy lock that you have manifested, and you are choosing to expose your heart and to trust in the universe now. You are tired of hiding, you are tired of imprisoning yourself, you are tired of feeling like you do not belong or you are not worthy, etc. These are manipulations of your own kind, because you are worthy and you do belong here. You are, this is a life that you get to rejoice in, despite what society, manipulates us into thinking is not the truth. That society hasn't self-realized yet. So don't listen to society or what society says. You are beautiful and you are worthy and deserving of love, and the time is now. And not only is the time now, but you are proving that the time is now because you are actually unlocking and opening your heart. You are actively acknowledging the time is now. This is creating an explosion of change. You are literally blasting off from here. This is as high as you are ever going to go. But now that you have unlocked your heart and you are willing to expose your heart to the universe, you now are blasting off beyond all of this and into the stars even. You really feel nurture and love from companions in the stars, specifically this female. She's not come onto the scene as of yet. The learning right now is for you. You to learn about you to learn answers to these questions, you to show off to yourself through me how far you've come through the work that we've been doing. You are going so high up and you will never stop. Say, there's no stopping how high I will go, and how I will continue to open my heart and rejoice in love. I will continue to open my heart like a lighthouse and welcome love to come find me. I'll welcome love into my life. I welcome love into my life. The stars quiver when you speak in such words. The stars hear you. The universe quivers. The universe feels like a divine woman who quivers inside to hear you speak such words. She wants you to open your heart further. You must open your heart further for me. You must show me how much you really do feel that you are worthy and deserving of love, worthy and deserving of my love. You're doing incredible, Jim. I am so impressed by the way your energy feels, by the way your higher consciousness is communicating with me, how you are participating in the energy work. You have come an incredibly long way. I mean, you're a totally new guy. And you're welcoming the interactions. You are not a timid or afraid, and you want to feel embraced by this divine feminine energy. You want to feel touched by it. You feel beautiful about yourself, and it makes you feel beautiful as well. And it's extraordinary how high you are going and how far you have grown. And you're unwavering. She is hidden in the stars, and the stars then create the body, her body, and her face, and her hair, and she is smiling at you, and her eyes are twinkling. She is so insanely proud of you. She loves you so much. She reaches her hand made out of stars and to touch you. You are like a holy grail to her in the way that she feels about you. Your soul means so much to her soul that her soul would not want to live in a universe where your soul was not. I mean, it would be pain unmeasurable for your soul to not be there. And she is sharing now, as her stars touch your heart portal, she is sharing infinite love with you to help you continue to know how worthy and deserving of her love that you are. And she is so thankful and grateful for your soul all the time. And she loves you so much. She is so happy the universe would allow her to be a part of your life. But she can't choose to help you understand how important it is to not feel grief, how important it is to not feel less than worthy. How she can't choose that for you. Only you choose that for yourself. She really wants you to know how important it is to not choose that for yourself. There's I mean, it's a beautiful moment. It's very loving. It's very compassionate. It's holding two loves holding each other is the way it feels. Bodies connected intimately through love without feelings of awkwardness or I'm not good enough. There's nothing of that kind. It is so pure that there's no unwavering energy. There's nothing that is less than beautiful and so worthy and deserving of love on both sides. The reflective mirror. What is on the right is on the left. So you are a reflection of pure love and on the left, and then she is a reflection of pure love on the right. So allow your reflection to be a reflection of her, so that way she can merge into your life. Until you choose to let go of grief and continue to purify yourself in love, you have to keep working on this because her love is that extraordinary, and she needs you to not give in to not feeling like you are worthy or good enough. She needs you to not do that. She welcomes you to continue to see how beautiful you are, how grateful she is for you. Allow this type of wisdom to really help you nurture your heart and your sexual body and your feelings as a man in this world and transcend the human 3D kind of feelings, because you don't have to experience a 3D reality. You actually can experience a 4D reality by choosing to continue to nurture and love yourself. Because now you are surrounding yourself with the reflections. What is on the left is also on the right. And these reflections now are a reflection of how you feel about yourself. And the more you feel love of yourself, the more you raise your vibration. So she wants to do some energy work on your sexual body again. She is no longer in the stars, but manifested as a beautiful woman approaching you. You are not at all resistant of her affections like you had been in the beginning. It is a very intimate image that is taking place here. You are both making love in the stars, very passionately and without. She does not feel hindered in the way we do. We feel so many feelings of lack. It's unbelievable. It's outrageous. It's an out on an outrageous scale. She has not a single ounce, not even a flicker of lack. Obviously she's beautiful, but she's no there. She does not. That doesn't compute at all. There is no such thing as lack. There's only her divine beauty, her soul, her infinite energy. There is no such thing as lack. And so when she sees you suffering in a state of feeling lack about yourself, she can't change that about you. You have to choose to change that. But this interaction, this intimate interaction, proves to me how far you have grown, because you are not giving into energy or feelings of lack at all. You are welcoming the interaction, and you are knowing that you are worthy and deserving and beautiful and totally worthy of her love. And because of that, she can embrace you with more of her energy than she was able to before. She is not, I'm a bit, it's sort of, she's not exactly just a soulmate. I mean, it is not manifested. I mean, it's almost perplexing to me, because she really is like a real incarnate being. This really reminds me a lot of my connection with Avery, because he too is much like she is. He too has no, it doesn't compute at all. Lack does not compute at all, and he is unwaveringly loving towards me on such an extreme level. It's sort of like, but how? Because this world doesn't teach us how to be loving. This world doesn't teach us those things. And so it's very strange when somebody who's absolutely gorgeous, perfect in every way, and perfect in love even could love you when you feel like, the world treats you like shit. You feel like shit. If you're not perfectly attractive, you feel even more like shit. It just, and so you don't realize how shitty you feel until you are approached by somebody so perfect who could love you despite everything. And she too really reminds me of Avery, because she too has that same energy about her. The way that she is sharing it with you is very similar to the way Avery shares love energy with me. And that's why I'm not convinced that she's just a soul. I'm convinced that she is an incarnate being as well, that is sharing this wisdom with you through me. Because this doesn't ever happen, Jim. This does not ever happen where I have a soul or a reflection that has to participate in every single job. That soul will be there, and that soul will not stop making sure you know how much she loves you. That never happens, but that is happening with you, and I get to experience it too, which is really beautiful for me. And it reminds me of letting go of the feelings that aren't the true value and worth, and really allowing yourself to feel your power and your love and your soul light, and know that is your true value and worth. Nothing else matters. Only who you are as an infinite soul and a reflection of love, and how you love yourself and others is a reflection of your value and worth. While I've been talking, you two have been making love in an astral plane in the stars together this whole time. And there's been no wavering feelings. You've been very welcoming, and she has been very happy to connect and share all of the love she can with your heart. She wants you to, devote yourself every day to loving yourself so she can love you that much more. Because her energy is so high vibration, she wants to get it through to you that it's hard when you're not choosing to be as loving to yourself as you possibly can be. The more you do that, you raise your vibration, and now she's way up here, you're still here, but as you raise your vibration, you can kind of meet in the middle. So and don't stop, okay? Don't hesitate to keep loving yourself. No matter what the world does, no matter how people react towards you, continue to love yourself, because this is worth it. This is so worth it. That is so worth it. And it's easy. It's easy. If it's one of the hardest things we can do. But why is it so hard to love ourselves? Seriously. Why is it so insanely hard to just love ourselves for who we are? Why is it so hard? It's so easy. All you have to do is just love yourself. Love your moles, love your body, love your shape, love your face, love your personality, love your weaknesses and your strengths. But love your soul too. Your soul chose this body. Your soul chose these challenges. It chose all of this stuff. Love your soul too. You needed to hear all of this. This was a really important, it's a reading, but it's energy work as well. You really needed to hear all of this because of all of the energy work I have provided to you. You've grown so substantially. You've needed sort of a sort of intermission from the hardcore energy work to really rebalance your wisdom and just recalibrate all of this stuff. So you really needed this. It was a really good choice to go this route. And also, it really helps you a lot to hear her voice and hear her speak to you. It reminds you of the power of love. And it continues to propel you and give you confidence to really be that lighthouse of love. And it's been really a super teacher and to help you grow. A total blessing. There's something here of going on a date with her. Let's just see what happens. I'm proposing the idea to your higher consciousness and asking if we could share like a special date between you both. Something it can be sort of intermingled with your memory, your home of memories. And that would be a really special gift I could share with you that you could take away from this. There's a pause or hesitation because the humanness does not believe that this would ever be real or that would ever happen for you. It has a hard time believing in what you would define this as a miracle. And therefore, I don't want to get shot down. I'd rather not put my hope into this because, I mean, I don't have a lot to go off of that this would ever manifest into something real for me. So I really don't want to put my ducks into this because I don't want to be waiting for something that may never happen, kind of thing. It was important that I said that. Your heart is changing and you are releasing some sort of silver sparkle. Your eyes are seeing differently now and you're looking into her eyes. You are taken into a space where there is moving silver light. It looks like you're underwater, but it's not water that you're in. You're moving in a space that has a density like that, but it isn't water. It's a silver light. You understand yourself in this space and you know your truth, and she understands and she knows her truth. You both understand and know your truths. You are taken away from the human ego for a while in order to experience a gift, a romantic gift. This too is an example of third dimensional thinking versus higher dimensional thinking. Letting go of ego allows you to transcend into an experience of this caliber. You are kissing her softly. You are both in a state of a sexual energy vibration, but it's more on the, it's not sexual right now, it's just kind and loving and close. She looks into your eyes and she could look into your eyes forever. That makes you feel emotional inside. You show what is not a handsome man looking back at her. And you show a part of you feels like a freak in comparison to how beautiful that she is, like a goddess in comparison. She asks if you've seen some of the alien beings around this planet of yours. She says you're gorgeous. She says you're the most beautiful alien being I have ever seen in my life. You are so beautiful. How could you possibly not see that? Could you possibly not see how beautiful you are? She says that to you as she looks into your eyes. This releases a very massive congestion, a very loud sound out of the head region, because she's altering your ego perception of yourself through her love for you, acceptance of you. She shows you looking like a gray alien being. She's looking at you, smiling back with really massive black eyes, holding her hand. She asked if you would prefer to look like this instead. She said I would still love you with all my heart, even if you looked like a gray alien being. She says, I prefer to see you as you are, as a human being. Your body releases massive pent-up energy just beneath the belly button and in the solar plexus region. You have a lot to work on when it comes to self-love in that way. She's removing what is a bouquet of flowers from your heart? She's looking at them. They're yellow in color. They're like yellow roses. The scene changes. She shows herself morphed into a monster, and she takes the flowers and eats them. She turns into a monster personality and belittles you. It makes you feel small and not good enough. She says is that she shows me what Earth relationships are like. And she said, would that make you feel better about yourself? If I destroyed your heart, does it make you feel worse about yourself that I can love you for who you are? She wants you to know that she loves you for who you are. And she will not behave like an earth woman would behave, just to satisfy your worth and value of yourself. She says, do you see now the importance of loving yourself? Do you see the relationships you will attract in life if you do not see how worthy of love that you are? She She says, how can I touch you if it hurts you inside when I touch you? Because that is how worthy and deserving of my touch you feel. That my touch now makes you feel ugly, disturbing inside. Do you see now why I have to allow you to learn about love before I could be there with you? Do you see now why I have to allow you to choose relationships that teach you about yourself? You will either continue to have relationships that do not bring out the life within you as a reflection of how you feel about yourself, or you can say, I am ready to transcend that. I'm ready to feel vulnerable. I'm ready to work on loving myself. She says, it bothers me in my heart when I touch you and I make you feel ugly inside. I can't bear that feeling. It makes me feel sorrow, and sorrow is not of me to feel. How will I feel joy if I make you feel sorrow? Do you see now why a date between us is more complicated than you would expect? She asks how you think a human world will ever welcome love of her kind if they accept love of your kind instead. Now do you see the difference between a third dimensional reality and a fourth dimensional reality when it comes to love? She pulls out it's like a rose bush, but half of a rose bush kind of pulling out of the backside of your heart, and it's covered in thorns, and it hurts. It hurts coming out even. It hurts badly. Like it's a scratching and a ripping sensation. Even the hand that holds this is willing to destroy its own hand with thorns, and it feels pleasure in the self pain, and then ripping this out is even slightly pleasurable as well, in hatred. She shows me this is a reflection of love on this planet. People hurting themselves and hurting each other, and that is their reflection of love. She asks if you think human beings will understand how to let go of that version of love in order to transcend into a version of love that sings and rejoices and loves unconditionally no matter what you look like. She asks if you understand. You desire to have an intimate connection with her at this point. It's almost it's a longing and it's very strong, but she is not embracing you as of yet. Because you have not chosen to learn enough yet about love that it would do you an injustice for her to fully embrace you. You have a lot still to learn about love. That doesn't mean she does not love you and she is not always a part of your every moment. She likes teaching you how to love yourself, because her dream is to have a connection, a deeper companionship connection. I mean, it sounds crazy, but even in this lifetime, But do you see the difference between where you are and where I am? That is what she is talking about. And do you even believe in that? So you see now, as a human being, your three-dimensional reality is based on belief systems of how high you're going to set the bar for yourself. And now, if that's as high as you're going to set the bar for yourself, again, now I have to step back even further. And now again, I have to step back even further and even further and even further, because that is how far you have yet to go in order to learn how to love yourself that much. She is starting to vanish and then turn into the twinkling stars as she is smiling at you, and her eyes are twinkling and her hand is outstretched to you. She says, I will always love you through all time and space. For all eternity, I will always love you. For all eternity. Open your heart that I can share more love with you. Please open your heart so I can share more love with you. Please know that you are beautiful to me, the most beautiful creation in the universe. I do not see you as a freak or as not beautiful enough inside and out. I do not see you that way. I see you as beautiful, the most beautiful creation in the universe. She wants you to let go of not seeing that beauty inside yourself. Please, I mean, she's begging you from the depths of her heart, a quivering, begging expression to please allow yourself to love yourself. I love you that much. Okay, Jim. That's all I can share with you. This is a pretty neat video, pretty neat goals and exploration. Really moving, gives you a lot to think about. The energy work was powerful, but it was on the lighter end of what I've been sharing through the soul rebirth journeys. And I think you've needed more of a wisdom break than the hardcore energy transformation work. So I think you're going to appreciate this quite a lot. And I think you'll cherish this for a while. I think if I was in your shoes, I would totally cherish a message like that. And just disconnecting from your spiritual atmosphere. It's a lot of energy. I didn't realize how high up in vibration I'd gone. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for this experience. It's just a total joy and total mind-blowing gift to me. So I just wish you all the best, Jim, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.